day that I first heard about Dante, before I met him. And I said, I have got to meet this brother. Some people show up for drama. I will show up for a good conversation. I was just really encouraged and looking forward to coming today because of all of those things. And I feel him.
And I had the privilege of meeting my brother in St. Louis at a conference for equity practitioners. And I didn't get a chance to go to his session because the agenda was so jam-packed, and I did not know that that was a session that I should have made it a priority to attend. Because the people that I traveled with that came out of that session, I saw them when they went in. But when them people came out, they were shaking, trembling, stuttering, sweating, crying, ranting, raving. And I said, I don't know what just happened to y'all, but y'all not the same people that went into that room.
I attended the first class that he had through Zoom. I was born and raised in the South during segregation, picking cotton and marching in the civil rights movement. But I have to tell you, the things that I learned from Dante in that class, there was no comparison to what I went through. And a lot of things, because I was so young at that time, I didn't understand a lot. But when I went through his course, much was revealed.
Steve and Kate, these individuals sitting right here, I love you very, very, very much. And I say, you can only trust out of every 1 million white people. You can only trust one per 1 million, okay? So they're my two. No, I'm just joking, but
It's tough and it's rough, but it's necessary. And it's necessary coming from you, Tay. You are a gift to us. You are a gift to the world. We honor you. You are our king, Dante King.
Dear Black people, white America was built upon a foundation of collective white American psychopathological violence, collective psychosis, and Black trauma. The delusion and perversion of whiteness informs every aspect of American culture and its institutions. Black people have and remain casualties of white psychopathological violence and trauma. Black people remain casualties of American culture and institutions. Our exploitation in white America cannot be controlled. Therefore, we are not responsible for any of the disruptions and oppressive conditions that have been caused to our community. Even while we strive for whiteness, we also are victims of anti-Blackness. And so our journey is different than white people. They don't have that. And so they're inherently trained to be narcissists, but to also be inhumane. And everything is about proving one's value and adding status to yourself. And I want us to break away from that. You got to learn to love what we've been trained to think about as the least of them, because guess what? And I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, guess what, neighbor? Your circumstances can change tomorrow. And what would happen to you if you lost that job, if you lost your health, if you lost those good looks? We have to invoke a sense of humility and true love and understanding so that we can be available to people, because we may not always be in a position where things are going good. So how would you want someone to show up and others to show up for you? But we have to be good for Black people. And Black men, we got to do better for Black women, but we also have to do better for ourselves too.
Aye, monster on the beat, Debo, any rap. He a freak throw, man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nella new to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni air? Trying to see Compton, the industry can hate me. Marlon, they mama, how many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some him. Pull on him, extort, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 that fuck him up. Wop, 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 I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. You think the Bay gon' let you disrespect Pop? I think that Oakland show gon' be your last stop. They cold foul, I don't know why you still pretending. What is the owl? Bird, Lucas, and Bird. Go. The audience not dumb. Shape the stories how you want. Hey Drake, they're not slow. Rabbit hole is still deep. I can go further, I promise. Ain't there some P-rest that's for bitchin'? You Malibu most wanted. Ain't no law boy, you ball boy. Fish Gatorade or something. Since 2009, I had this jumping. You to get a wedgie, be flipped over your boxes or over your foe. The other option. Better straighten they posture. Got famous all up in content. Might write this with a doctor. Tell a pop star quit hiding. The caption won't action. No accident. I'm hands on. He around, get polished. On Wayne Grow, he was in jail. That's conniving. Then get his face tatted like a bitch apologizing. I'm glad D Rose came home. Y'all didn't deserve him neither. From Alondra down to Central. Better not speak on Serena. And your homeboy needs subpoena. That predator moving flocks. That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I lean on you niggas like another line of walk. Yeah, it's all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the pot. Ay, put the roll label on me. I'ma get them dropped. Ay, sweet chin music and I won't pass the ox. Ay, how many stocks do I really have in stock? Ay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus.
You are the light, and I've shared that with you many of times. It's radiating from you.
It's a must, we outside.
Our children
they not like us.
need
They not
you.
like us. They not like
Our
us.
children
They not like us.
need you.
Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie still double down, calling us some slaves. Atlanta was the mecca, building railroads and trains. Bear with me
You're
for a
protected.
second, let me put y'all on game. The settlers was using time, so to make
You
it look
are
fast.
what
2024, you got the same agenda. You run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break it down for you. This the real challenge. You caught Future when you didn't see the club. Hey, what? Little baby help you get your lingo up. What? 21 get your first street cred. Thug make you feel like you a slime in your head. Hey, what? Quavo said you can be from North Side. What? 2 Chainz say you good, but he lied. You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you're not a colleague, you a colonizer. The family matter and the truth of the matter. Here was God's plan to show y'all the liar. He a fan.
We must recognize that every Black person who has ever existed under the oppressive systems and culture in white America has done their absolute best to survive the abusive and debilitating nature of whiteness and anti-Blackness.
Dante D. King is a native of San Francisco and author of the book The 400-Year Holocaust, as well as his newest book, Diagnosing Whiteness Anti-Blackness. King is also a professor of American history, African American history, and Black studies. He has worked and consulted for more than 15 years as a human resource management professional, specializing in executive leadership, development, coaching, and the implementation of anti-racism, organizational development frameworks, strategies, and practices. Dante holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in African American Studies and a Master's degree in Education from the California State University at I almost said Hayward, California State University, East Bay. And while working as a Senior Human Resources Manager at the City and County of San Francisco, Dante designed and implemented a citywide anti-racism and bias training, creating an inclusive environment, and introduction to implicit bias. Please join me in welcoming Dante King to the stage.
And I want to also acknowledge the city librarian, Michael Lambert, who operates this library. I am so incredibly grateful and honored to have been given really the gift and the calling that has set me up to be able to do this work. And so I don't do it in service to myself, but I do it in service to our shared humanity. So as I understood that my dad revealed to me something very personal, and he said, back in the early 1960s, he was unable to secure employment here in San Francisco. People would not hire him. And if you go online and you locate a documentary that is titled Take This Hammer, it's when James Baldwin came to San Francisco, you will see that documentary begins with a group of black men talking about how hard it is to find employment. This is 1963. And they're talking about the way that San Francisco discriminates is through policy.
San Francisco? Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you about San Francisco. San Francisco ain't did me. I mean, ever since I got out of high school, I had a couple of jobs. I worked at a couple of hat companies and warehouses. I mean, after a while they say, well, I guess we're gonna lay you off for a couple of weeks, you know. All right, they talk about the South. The South is not half as bad as San Francisco. You want me to tell you about San Francisco? I'll tell you about San Francisco. The white man, he's not taking advantage of you out in public like they're doing down in Birmingham, but he's killing you with that pencil and paper, brother. When you go to look for a job, can you get a job? Can you get a job, Winkle?
So being on this journey has helped heal the relationship with my daddy. And I just want to tell you how incredibly grateful I am that we've been able to go be at the place and get to the place where we are today. And I love you and respect you tremendously. Black Academics is a dynamic educational platform. It's the nonprofit that I've started in which all of these efforts that I'm undertaking is flowing through. And so it is dedicated to empowering Black individuals and communities through knowledge, mentorship, and advocacy. Our mission is to dismantle systemic oppression, foster intellectual growth, and create pathways for personal and communal transformation. We believe that education is the foundation for lasting change, and through our diverse programs, we seek to cultivate leaders, thinkers, and change makers who will challenge the status quo and uplift future generations.
Black people have no right to expect anything from this establishment because it wasn't set up for them. They wasn't brought to this country to be given democracy. It was brought to this country to do some work, to labor and to obey. And once the machines made a whole lot of these jobs obsolete, it tended to make a whole lot of the people obsolete.
White people use the institutions to accomplish white purpose. The white purpose is to maintain a power position and keep everybody else in a subordinate, powerless kind of position. Now that's the institution's purpose, and that's the way it functions and how it functions. The schools teach not objective truth, but what the white man wants to project as truth.
What the world does to you is the world does it to you long enough and effectively enough. You begin to do it to yourself. You become a collaborator, an accomplice of your own murderers, because you believe the same things they do. No, they think it's important to be white, and you think it's important to be white. They think it's shameful to be black, and you think it's shameful to be black.
And by the way, he's one of my great role models and mentors. I absolutely adore James Baldwin. We can give him a hand. I love James Baldwin. And I love Dr. John Henry Clark and Albert Clegg, who were also in the first video. So we can give them a hand too. What did you take away from it? You have people who are in positions of authority and power giving permission to it, creating a permission structure for then everyday whites to go out and lynch people widespread. People who are no longer here, who had the effect on me, who shaped my research, who shaped my thinking, who shaped how I approached my thoughts about race and racism, white supremacy, whiteness, white extremism, anti-blackness, etc. And so I am asking, some people say, oh, wow, you're asking white people to contribute through $3,500 to $10,000. Absolutely. The reason why non-white people, and particularly black people, suffer the way that we do and have been really thrust into and forced to be and exist and live in conditions of poverty, of conditions of under-resourcement, of conditions of being mistreated, being disrespected every day, is because we have a culture that has been psychically trained to appreciate, support, and uplift people who are white Europeans. And we as black and brown people, we follow every model, every measure, every standard, every norm that they have forced us to. And so in essence, when we talk about black excellence or black progress, we're talking about trying to become more like white people.
We must unpack it, because if we just say, oh yeah, there's black on black crime, we further give the impression that we are in support of the pathology of this idea that black people are just inherently criminal. And we're not criminal, we are victims of crime. We're victims of white criminality, and white people have given permission for people to assault black people as individuals and our community as a whole.
So what I am suggesting to you as black people is stop being surprised. Expect the psychological and emotional brutality. Expect the thievery. Stop looking for validation. And, oh, I want to be included with Becky and Tom, so I'm going to give away all my ideas. They're getting a raise and all this recognition, and you're sitting in the background. I can't believe they did this to me. Dr. Bobby Wright said it's we as black people who are pathological for believing that we could persuade people who are immoral when it comes to blackness to somehow establish some type of human regard. Turn to your neighbor and say, it's not going to happen. We have to understand too that as black people, we've never known a reality without the presence of white rulership in our lives. We've never ever been a community without the presence of the white power structure, white institutions controlling what we think, how we develop, the language that we speak, the beliefs that we hold. We abide by their logic. Even while we can have an artist such as Kendrick Lamar putting together a song saying they're not like us, so many of us want to be like them. And so when I ask you to fund black academics, I am asking for you to fund something that will be here long after I'm gone, so that another young black girl or black boy or black man who is also on the journey of trying to find themselves and find out about how this situation here in America has evolved, that they too will have something to access, a resource. Does that make sense? That's why I've spent hundreds of hours of my life writing books. That's why I've spent over $300,000 of my own money, because this is for posterity's sake, not for Dante King's sake. And so I am confident that within the next 50 years, 100 years, someone will be accessing my work who I never thought would be, because it will be here for posterity's sake with all of your support. So if you can donate, please donate to Black Academics.
Malignant diabolical psychopathy. And so I am introducing this term in my book, and the way that we've defined it is that it is a collective group disorder upon which a white hegemonic society exhibits systemic ill will or hatred towards non-white people.
Dr. Amos Wilson told us, we have a school system that is based upon the psychology of white children and white people. If we are trying to educate our children in that system, they are bound to fail. The very structure of the educational system itself is based upon a white model, and therefore it has a built-in failure mechanism for Black children, one way or the other. Dr. Bobby Wright told us, in their relationship with the Black race, whites are psychopaths, and their behavior represents an underlying biologically transmitted proclivity with roots deep in their evolutionary history. The psychopath is an individual who is constantly in conflict with other persons or groups. He is unable to experience guilt, is completely selfish and callous, and has a total disregard for the rights of others. One of the best methods that can be used to measure the psychopathic traits of the white race is observing and analyzing their universal overt behaviors and attitudes towards Black people. Psychopaths simply ignore the concept of right and wrong. By ignoring this trait in the white race, the lack of ethical and moral development, Blacks have made and are still making a tragic mistake in basing the worldwide Black liberation movement on moral suasion. It is pathological for Black people to keep attempting to use moral suasion on a people who have no morality, where race is the variable.
Acclaimed author Dante King invites you to purchase his book, Diagnosing Whiteness and Anti-Blackness, by going to his website, www.danteking.com, or Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and any other major book retailer